Welcome back to Midday Kentucky, everyone. As we continue to celebrate Black History Month, we wanted to show you where you can learn and go to the contributors made by a black local figure. Garrett Morgan, the contributions that he has made as part of his life. Tell us a little bit about Garrett Morgan to begin with.
Sure. Garrett Morgan is from Paris, Kentucky, and that's where our museum is. We have an exhibit there that you can visit, and he's very well known for inventing the traffic signal.
Wow.
A lot of people say the traffic light, but that's actually not correct. The signal that he invented was meant to be in the middle of the intersection, and it had arms, for lack of a better word, that came down with pulleys. So there's a person standing at the bottom, and it said stop and go on it. And if you come to the exhibit, you can see a picture of that. It's a little bit easier to see. But GE bought his patent for $40,000. This was back in the 1920s. So that's about $500,000 in today's dollars. And then they used that model to invent what we know today as the traffic light.
Oh, I had no idea that he was from around here inventing that. Talk to us a little bit more about his childhood in Paris, Kentucky, right?
Yes. He grew up in Paris in the neighborhood of Claysville, which was a predominantly African-American neighborhood. He went to a school there, and of course it was segregated at that time. It was Branch Elementary School. And when he was 16, he went to look for more opportunities and moved up to Cincinnati and then up to Cleveland. And that's where he spent the rest of his life, was up in Ohio.
Do you feel that he's a well-known African American here in the state of Kentucky? And what will we learn when we come to the exhibition?
He is, for the most part, and really nationwide. I've seen lots of National Black History Month things that will bring him up. And so if you come to the museum, you'll see a little bit about his inventions, the pictures of the patents, some information about the neighborhood that he grew up in, maps and things. You'll learn about some of his other inventions, like the safety hood. He was So it was an early form of the gas mask, and he invented it for firefighters to use. And there's a really interesting story behind that. There was Cleveland Waterworks was building a tunnel underneath Lake Erie, and there was an explosion, and there were 80 or so workers trapped under there. And someone remembered seeing Garrett Morgan demonstrate his safety hood. So the police went to his house and said, "Hey, can you help?" And he and his brother went out there and tried to help rescue people. So he was quite the hero for doing that.
Such an impressive man, and he was known for even more. Owned a newspaper? What else did he do?
He did. He owned the Cleveland Call, which was an African-American newspaper. He was very active in the NAACP. So he was quite influential in his community and for African-American civil rights.
Was he married, and did he have kids, and does he have family in this area still?
He was married and had children. I'm not sure where his children are now, but there have been, I want to say it was 20 or some years ago, that they had a reunion of family in Paris.
Well, before we go, tell us about the Garrett Morgan Commemorative Fund. How can people donate, and what is that used for?
So we're partnering with several groups in our community to raise money to commemorate Garrett Morgan in our community some way. Right now we're thinking a mural, so some public art, and we've already raised $500 toward that. We're seeking some grant funds. We have, of course, big ideas about an African American heritage trail that honors him. So all kinds of things like that.
Well, Leah, we appreciate you coming in and giving us information. If you want to find out how you can head over to the Hopewell Museum, there's all the hours up there, the admission, and you can just go onto online as well with their web address. What's your web address? There it is, right there.
Hopewell
and the phone number, everyone. Okay, after the break, Alison Eastland from the kitchen at AS Eats shows us a delicious recipe, everyone. You're watching Midday Kentucky.